Okay guys, what's going on? It's Voodoo51292, and it is the night of April of the 19th, 2011, a huge release day in the gaming world, and I am wrapping up today my day one footage of the Portal 2 solo campaign. Yes, I am wearing a hat again, as you can see, because as my hair is continuing to grow, my awful haircut I received a couple of weeks ago is just looking worse and worse. I actually have an appointment with our family barber on Thursday afternoon. This guy actually gave me my first haircut. That's how long we've been knowing him, so obviously he knows how my hair grows and everything, and hopefully he'll be able to correct it, because it's a complete mess right now, so hopefully I'll be able to walk around without a hat. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, since I'm wrapping up my day one footage of Portal 2 solo campaign, I'm going to be making a video with my day one thoughts. As you know, last night or this morning, whatever you want to say, Dave and I went to the midnight release at our local GameStop of this game, Portal 2. Well, they were releasing Portal 2, Mortal Kombat, and SOCOM 4, but we obviously went to get Portal 2. We came back here and played for about an hour and a half on the first set. Then we went to bed. When we got up today and got moving, I sat down and played probably another hour and a half to 2 hours of the game. So all day one footage, and I think I'm about halfway through the game, because I actually started a new game to show my parents, because they actually liked Portal 1. I actually used to play Portal 1 downstairs on our big TV when I didn't used to film, and they came across it and actually liked the gameplay of it, so I was kind of showing them a little bit of what this game is like. And when I started the new game, I could pick my chapter, and I'm up to chapter 5 now, and it said that they were up to 10 chapters, so it looks like I'm about halfway through the single player campaign. And you know, people are probably interested, what am I thinking about this game, because as I said, this is one of my most anticipated games of this year, 2011. So what am I thinking, how am I liking it? Well, I have to say, I am really enjoying this game. I'm having a lot of fun with it, you know, and I'm, you know, not disappointed at all. I am really, really happy with the results thus far. And let me just explain to you why I'm really enjoying the game so much, and why I think Valve deserves a lot of credit here with this game, alright? It is one of the most difficult things to do, probably, in the gaming industry. When you release the first game, the first title of a new IP, and it basically catches lightning in a bottle, which is exactly what Portal 1 did. Because remember, as I said in my playthrough introduction, Portal 1 was in a collection of games called the Orange Box. It was about a 3-hour game, and it was basically just an add-on. It was a game that, you know, Valve, they liked the idea and said, oh, this is kind of a new concept, it's pretty cool, it's a little puzzle game. We'll add it to the Orange Box. People, you know, will be able to play it, they'll enjoy it, and, you know, it'll be fun for them, but then we'll move on. You know, I don't think they ever anticipated creating this into a full game series or anything like that. But what happened was exactly what I said. They caught lightning in a bottle. People gobbled up Portal 1. They loved the hell out of that game, me being one of them. And you know, they had the right idea. It was unique and was original, and it was so unique and original that people latched onto it and loved it. It was one of their favorite games, and one of the best games of 2007, even though it was a 3-hour game. You know, it was an incredible hit that Valve never expected. And of course, the reason that that game was so popular and people loved it so much was because of its originality, because of its uniqueness, and people had never seen the game before. The same thing happened with BioShock. I'm going to use that series a lot in this example. The first BioShock was the same way. It captivated people with that underwater environment, the whole story and everything, and the way it was, you know, laid out. It captivated people, and they were like, wow, we've never played a game like this, we love it. However, like I said, the hardest thing to do is when you make a game like that, to make a sequel, to make a follow-up to it that is going to meet people's expectations and is actually going to be a good game. And here's why. You know, like I said, the reason that the original Bioshock and Portal was so big time is because they were so unique and original. Well, when you release the sequel, it's no longer a novelty. It's no longer unique or new or something people haven't seen. They've seen it already. They've been exposed to it. So the challenge then is, well, how do we make a sequel that, you know, is going to captivate our audience the same way the first one did? Because now they've seen it. Now they've been exposed to it. The mechanics and all are out there. It's not a novelty anymore. So how do we capture them with a sequel? And Portal 2 is doing an amazing job of it. And it's because of a lot of reasons. One, the environment is really good in Portal 2, okay? They have changed the environment enough of Portal 2 that you can still tell that it's a different game. It's moving on. It's not a repeat of Portal 1. It's a completely new environment, but they haven't changed it so much that it's left its roots and you can't identify with the first game. It's perfect. It's, hey, we're moving on with the series, but hey, let's not forget our roots of where we came from. Also, there's a few new characters in the game. There's Wheatley, who is basically a British, a robot, a circle bot, with a British accent that's kind of your companion and your helper and follows you around. There is the guy, the founder of Aperture, who's just some of his voice recordings in the game. So there's a few new characters. There's a ton of new mechanics in this game. You know, in the first game, you basically had the portal devices and then a few more mechanics. Like you had the little energy balls that you'd have to hit in the sockets, or you had the, you know, the droids, the military droids and things like that. But you know, it was limited. You know, you got all your stuff by the end of the game. You're like, okay, it's starting to get a little bit repetitive now with some of the mechanics in the game. It's really not progressing much. You got all the mechanics within the first like half the game, and then it really never progressed from there. It was a great game, but it didn't really progress with the mechanics. Well, in this game, there's a bunch of mechanics. You get all the stuff you had with Portal 1, but now there's a bunch of new mechanics. There are lasers in the game that you have to redirect with cubes. There's actually cubes in this game with mirrors on them that you can redirect the lasers in certain ways, which is cool. There are platforms that build themselves up, like stairs and stuff. If you activate a button or something, instead of always just opening a door or a moving platform, now there's stairs and stuff that come up. There's you know, platforms that'll raise and do certain things like that, which is neat. There are more mechanics than that. Oh, there's these things on the floor and the wall sometimes where you jump on them and they catapult you through the air. And sometimes there's a bunch of them like this. You'll hit this one, which will catapult into that one, into that one, into that one, and it'll put you where you're supposed to go. But sometimes there's a wall in the way between the two catapults. You'll have to figure out a way to lower the wall, and then you can jump and go, you know, to the next one. There are bridges in this game made out of light, and you can use portals to redirect the bridges and basically build your own bridges over chasms and over pits and things that you wouldn't be able to access, but you can use the bridges in a variety of ways, not just to walk over, but you can use them to catch cubes. You can use them as placeholders for cubes over buttons. You can use them to block the turret's fire. You can use it to block their line of sight so they can't shoot at you. So really a lot of unique mechanics, and there's more on the way. There are gels in this game. They're called propulsion and repulsion gels, I believe. And I haven't even run into those yet, and I'm halfway along the game. So not only does this game have a bunch of new mechanics from, you know, a different mechanics from Portal 1, but they're spreading them throughout the game, so it never locks up, you know what I mean? And it doesn't progress. The game's always progressing. You keep getting new mechanics basically all the way through the game, so you're never bored and you're never just doing one thing. The puzzles continue to change, and, you know, like I said, there's more mechanics down the road that I haven't even discovered yet, and I'm halfway through the game. So it keeps you entertained, it keeps you doing different things. The environment of this game is much more open than the first one. The first one you went from testing chamber to testing chamber to testing chamber, and then the second half of the game you were kind of in the behind the scenes at Aperture Science. Well, in this game, you're kind of all over the place. You're in some testing chambers, and then you'll get knocked to another testing track, which you find out in this game. There's a lot more than just one testing track, and sometimes you're, all over the place, or sometimes you're behind the scenes, sometimes you're running through testing chambers, through, broken down pieces of the facility. It's really a neat environment. So it seems what Valve is being able to do is something that's really not easily done. And I'll go back to the BioShock experience. A lot of people did not like BioShock 2. I liked it, but a lot of people didn't because they felt it was just a repeat of BioShock 1 and it hadn't really changed enough to warrant a new title. This game, however, it's changed enough that it's definitely a new game, it's a new experience, but it has stayed true to its roots, and all the original Portal fans can identify with this game. It's also a game that you can jump in right away to the Portal series if you don't have Portal 1 and don't want to buy 5 games on the Orange Box just to play Portal 1. You can really jump into the Portal series right here because there wasn't a huge amount of plot in Portal 1 because, again, they weren't planning on continuing the series when they made the first Portal. So there's not a whole lot of plot elements in the first Portal, and you can get reintroduced to the mechanics, the physics and stuff with this game. So this is a great game to get started with the Portal series, but if you have played the first Portal, it's a different experience, but you can still make the connections to the first game. So really excellent job, I think, right here by Valve. And let's not forget, there's a whole nother campaign on this game that's cooperative, which they did not have in Portal 1. So they added a whole different mechanic there with the co-op gameplay, which I can't wait to try out when I beat the single player. So Portal 2, definitely not just a rehash of Portal 1, definitely new, but GLaDOS is back with, her funny jokes, her quirky jokes as usual. It's definitely got that Portal quirk to it. The humor that was in the first game is in this one, but it's not rehashed. It's all new material. And all around, so far, this has been a great game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the single player has in store and what the co-op has in store. I'm really excited. This game has a lot of things to offer, and so after day 1, I'm really enjoying Portal 2. Like I said, I think Valve is going to wind up accomplishing something that very few game developers can, and that's making a successful sequel to a game that kind of caught lightning in a bottle and was popular because of its novelty and because of its originality. Valve seems to have made a game that is a sequel to it and is actually successful and is keeping people interested even though some of the novelty has worn off. So good job, Valve. Looks like a great game. Of course, I'll make that final prediction when I'm done everything in my game review, but that's it for day 1 of Portal 2. More coming this week on the single-player campaign. I'm trying desperately to get footage up as fast as I can. I am at home once again, and the internet here is usually slow, but as of late it has been super-duper slow-mo. I have no idea why. I just reset my internet. I can't even watch videos on YouTube right now, which I can usually do, and I can't even do that without it loading every 3 seconds. So I restarted my internet. Maybe it'll work. I'll put the rest of the footage from day 1 on to upload overnight, including this, so by the time you see this video, all of day 1 footage should be up. And that's that. Day 1 of Portal 2 done. Really liking the game and can't wait to see what they have in store for me for the rest of this game.